78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty ldbc. Smash the like button and hit the subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. Now, Bill Haney, Bill Haney, just exposed Ryan Garcia. What I mean by that? Well, if y'all haven't heard, Quentin Rampage Jackson, the legendary MMA fighter and notorious Jig, went on his son just got in some big trouble. His son went viral for jumping inside of a wrestling ring at some event and taking things too far. He slammed the dude. He then began to ground and pound this dude in real life. And we all know wrestling is staged and fake. But Quentin Rampage Jackson, he actually pounded this dude down to nothing. So the reason why this is a big deal as it relates to Bill and Ryan is because when Ryan Garcia cheated Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia took a banned substance in Osterine to give himself an advantage in the ring, right? When he took that banned PED, a performance-enhancing drug, right? When he took that and was able to cheat and beat Devin Haney last April from 420, Quentin Rampage Jackson was one of Ryan's biggest supporters. He came out here, he spent the whole year roasting Devin Haney. Oh, man, Devin's a B word. Devin ain't this and that. He a coward. Oh, man, he ain't nothing. Man, he's suing it. Man, you can't sue nobody. This fight, you can't sue nobody. You can't sue nobody. When I tried to explain to y'all, I don't know, bro. This internet is a weird place, bro. The reason why Devin sued Ryan because Ryan was not going to give him a rematch, and the damages that from the plea deal that Ryan took, the reward money, the $1.2 million that Ryan had to pay back to Golden Boy, Devin and them didn't get none of that, and they were supposed to. Also, when Devin said that he was going to let Ryan come in heavy, 3 pounds over the agreed upon weight limit, they were supposed to pay Devin, but they worked out a deal where Devin would get a bigger percentage of the pay-per-view revenue. However, he never got that money because Oscar says, hey, there was no revenue. There's no revenue. So Devin got screwed every which way. That's why he sued Ryan, for the money, right, that they owed him. But I don't expect a primate like Quentin Rampage Jackson to understand that. But he came out here, and him and a lot of other jigs came out defending Ryan Garcia. Even though Ryan Garcia went on hellified racist rants against black people and everything, it doesn't matter with some of these dudes. They just don't care. So now, Ryan Garcia comes out here and has the audacity to criticize Quentin Rampage Jackson, his son. He says, this is probably the worst thing I've watched in a minute. What was bro thinking? Like, seriously? And he had a link to the fight where Rampage Jackson's son did that. So I find it interesting that Ryan is showing no loyalty to Quentin Rampage Jackson, and Rampage was loyal to him for over a year. But that's how they do. I be trying to tell you dudes, y'all don't want to listen. So Bill responded to Ryan's comment by saying, right up there, he said, it's right up there with Ryan Garcia's PED rage on 420. If this is a side effect from a more serious underlying problem in sports and entertainment, is this roid rage? Excellent question. Was Rampage Jackson's son experiencing some type of roid rage where he couldn't control himself? He was just wilding out. Because remember, Ryan, it's like this dude he was wilding that night against Devin when he was juiced to the gills. Ryan Garcia responds to that by saying, you and your son are both B words. And the fact that you can really go around trying to lie that I took steroids to beat your son is sad. Just continue suing the baby mama and anyone else who hurts your feelings. And he called him the P word. Then he says, by the way, I did damage to Devin that can never be reversed. F you. That's what he said, right? Now, so he's bragging about cheating Devin and possibly doing some irreversible damage to Devin. But the part of this that tripped me out is how Ryan is saying, keep lying to the people that I took PEDs, I took steroids to beat your son. First of all, Ryan, I know your fans on the internet only want to hear what they want to hear, okay? But look, let's deal with the actual factuals, right? In June 2024, boxer Ryan Garcia reached a settlement with the New York State Athletic Commission, not VADA, but the New York State Athletic Commission, following his positive test for the banned substance ostarine. This agreement, which acted as a plea deal, prevented him from having a full disciplinary hearing with the commission. All right. So what this is saying is, Ryan Garcia took a plea deal, and he had to come to court, and he had to admit that he took the PEDs, because if he had taken it further, then they would have opened up the books. It would have got real messy, and Ryan could have been charged with perjury and things of that nature in court. Once you get on that stand and start lying, because remember, Ryan tried to say that it was he named a bunch of people. He was trying to blame his dietitian that he brought in last minute, the weight loss guy. He tried to blame, of course, Bill Haney and Victor Conte, even though Victor Conte got nothing to do with VADA, but whatever. He tried to blame the scooter dude. He tried to blame the ashwagandha route he was taking. So a lot of people basically, how he went to court, he was going to have to say that in court. It's a difference to saying that stuff on the internet for your little goofy fans. But when you go to court, you say that stuff, and it's in black and white in testimony, you got to be telling the truth. Ryan was not going to go to court and tell these lies. So he took the plea deal. And it said, terms of the plea deal. As part of the settlement, Garcia accepted the following consequences. 1 year suspension. Garcia was suspended for 1 year. And it goes on to talk about his suspension. Then it says, I'm trying to get to this one part. Okay, the purse. Okay, here we go, right here. He was required to forfeit his $1.2 million purse from the Haney fight. Well, that's not exactly true. He had to give back $1.2 million out of his purse for the Haney fight. Okay, he had to give it back to Golden Boy, right? So that was worded the wrong way. And the fight, of course, was overturned from a Ryan Garcia victory to a no contest. All right, and of course, Ryan also had to pay $10,000 fine to New York State Athletic Commission. Now, this is all after Ryan Garcia tested positive for a banned substance in ostarine, a PED. He tested positive from VADA, and he tested positive for the New York State Athletic Commission. But Ryan cleverly flipped the narrative into, he just did. There was a conspiracy. Bill Haney, and why do you always want to use VADA? See, I don't trust Victor Conte, and this and that. And everybody ran with it because they're a bunch of fools. They all ran with this whole thing of what VADA and Victor Conte, and Victor Conte hasn't worked with VADA in I don't know how long, bro. Victor Conte was an advisor, not just to VADA, but to USADA and WADA. He was an advisor because Victor Conte back in the day was the juice man. He knew everything. So all the drug testing companies brought him in to figure out, hey man, teach us how we can prevent these guys from beating these tests. So he came in as an advisor. But because he had a good relationship with Margaret Goodwin at the time, who was with VADA, and VADA was the upstart company, people assumed that Victor Conte and Margaret Goodman was like partners or something in VADA, and that never was the case. But that was just like a boxing rumor or something. And nobody had a problem with Victor Conte until Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford started working with him. Ryan Garcia himself worked with Victor Conte and Snack, okay, with Snack, because that's what Victor Conte is connected to, Snack. Snack is not a drug testing company. Snack is a supplement company, okay, legal supplement company. They sell stuff like VMAs, multivitamins and multi-minerals, stuff that helps you sleep, that kind of stuff, right? So it's a nutritional brand. That's all it is. But you know how some people are, though. They're just gonna run with any little fake narrative they can on the internet. But anyway, it's hilarious to me that Ryan Garcia has the audacity to keep running this play with his fans that he ain't did nothing wrong and all they lying on me and blah, 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 blah. When in reality, you went in that court, you took a plea deal. You know what I'm saying? See, I know a liar when I see one. First of all, it was in your system. Now, you lied to the people about how I got there. Now, the lie that stuck is that Victor Conte and Bill Haney and Devin's little brother has something to do with it. That's the one that the internet wants to believe. But in the beginning, you said it was the ashwagandha route. You said that they're telling me it's the ashwagandha route I took. Who was they? Who told you that? He lied. You made it up. Nobody told you that. Then you said it was the scooter dude who gave you the super carb supplement, right? And then you turn in the super carb supplement, and they do find ostarine in the supplement. So you trying to act like it was tainted. However, when they pulled the other lot numbers from that particular brand, none of those other ones had ostarine in it. So that means when you got busted with the ostarine, more than likely, somebody dumped in some ostarine into the super carb supplement, stirred it up, then turned it in to the Vada, so thinking that was going to be your out. But it's not that simple, Ryan. You got caught. So y'all let me know what y'all think. 78 Sports TV, salute to the mighty. LDBC, smash that like button, share the video. I'm out of here. Deuces.